Hey everybody, for those of you that don't know, my name's Hoopy, and today we're working on the Dozer again. And what we've got going on with this old girl is I've noticed that the last few days I've been running this thing, shoving some dirt. The temperature, this gauge right here, has been coming up pretty warm on me. The last day I ran it, it was warm outside. It was like 65 degrees. And this thing come up and was running at like 230 degrees. So I got to figure out what's going on. I hope I don't need a radiator. This radiator was in bad shape whenever we got the Dozer. I don't know if you can look through there and see how bad this thing is. You know, it don't look very good. But it's never got this warm. And the radiator's not all dirty or anything. So I'm hoping that it's a faulty temperature sender or gauge. So what we're going to do is just start her up. We're going to go run her for a while. When that temperature comes up, I went to Harbor Freight, and I got me one of these handy-dandy things here. We're going to shine the radiator and see what the temperature really says it is. And that's how we're going to go from there. Well, we got her running up right about 200. It was a little bit over that a minute ago. So we're going to go out here and shoot the temperature of the radiator. About 200 on it sometimes. Yeah, we're holding right about tight. About that upper radiator hose. It says it's only 157. It's going down just sitting here idling. The air coming off there is pretty warm. Saying the core on it's 182, 189 there. This grill right here is what I'm shining. That's the one saying 210. Get her back there on the core and shoot down to 190. The lower part saying. Well, just by that quick test I did by checking the temperature with that thermometer gauge thing, I can rule out the fact of maybe having a bad sending unit or a bad gauge. It's pretty spot on. This thing had cooled back down to probably 180-ish, just driving out through the field to get it back out here. Before I can dig into it any farther, I do have to finish the job that I started. So I'm going to keep running it and just keeping an eye on it. If it starts getting hot, I'll just have to let it cool down. And then we're going to dig into this thing. So I'm back working on this Dozer, and I want to show you this. This here is how fragile these fins are. I can just take any one of them and very, very easily bend it with my finger. They are just, this thing's ate up. But I still don't want to spend $1,600 on a new one. I'm going to, it looks like there is some dirt and stuff in this thing. I'm going to very gently take the water hose and spray in here, because the air sucks off the engine and blows outward on these. And I'm just going to very gently try to spray some water in here, and then I'll get the air, compressed air, and hit it gently too. And just try to maybe push some gunk out of this thing. We'll see what that does. Well, there's actually some dirt and stuff washing out of there. This camera won't sit here. The wind won't stop. Everything's just not working with me today. Everything's against me. So I'm going to keep at this for a minute and we'll see what happens here. So in there on the back side of the radiator, I can't really show you because the lighting just absolutely sucks. I keep pulling out this stuff, and I thought it was part of a mouse nest at first. There's a bunch of it that I keep washing out of there and picking off. The more I look at it, it looks like fibers off of like fiberglass or something. So it could be from a mouse nest, but I can also take my fan, and it's tight, but I can slip it on the belt and spin it. So I'm wondering if that belt hasn't been slipping, chewing that stuff off and packing it into the radiator. So I'm going to put some air in there, try to blow some more of that junk out and dry it off some, and we'll take a better look at it here. Well, I'm pretty sure I think I know what the issue is. One, I got two things working against me. One is if you look really close right here, you can see where this bolt was tightened down, and you can see how much play is in that belt, and I can spin this fan and it just slips on the belt. And then the second thing is all that gunk in that radiator. I'm gonna tighten the belt up. I'm gonna start the dozer and let it dry that junk out some, because it seems to be light and fluffy when it's dry, not after it's wet. It's just kind of like hanging there. And then I'll try to hit it with compressed air again and blow it off, and we'll see what that does. I'll have to run it and see if that fixed it or not. So I got this belt tightened up now, because if I reach in here and get a hold of this fan, let's see, I'm rolling the whole motor. Okay, turning on the crank and everything. So that's good and tight. That's what we need. So I'm gonna start it up and let it dry that junk out of there, and then we're gonna clean it out. And I think this will fix my problem. Alright, it's a new day. I got the dozer fired up, getting warmed up. We're going to head over the hill over here. I'm going to cut a road in, and I'm going to probably try to drag out a couple logs. We're going to work this thing a little bit hard, run it in a little higher gear, and I really want to see if it'll heat up now. And hopefully we fixed our issue. Alright, so I'm up here in the field where I'm going to work. This here is where I drug all my logs in before, if you guys watched any of my previous videos. So basically, in order to get there, I have to go down that way, down and out and around here. I'm going to cut me a road in right down here, make me a shortcut. Try to anyhow. I should be able to. These are all small growth trees. I'm going to set the camera up here. I'm going to doze this road in. I'm not going to make you guys watch me cut trees and all that stuff. Seen enough of that. And once I get the logs down, we're going to try yanking them up this hill so we can work the dozer hard to see if we can get her warm. So I'll get to her here. Alright, back down in here. I went ahead and dropped a pretty big red oak. Got hooked up. I got a 16-foot log and an 8-foot log at the end. Let's drag her up this hill and see if she heats up. Well, I had her bellering pretty good coming up out of there, and she never went over 170. I think my overheating issues are fixed. I would say they are anyhow. The second log that I just brought out of there, I purposely ran it in second gear, high range. And this thing was bogging down hard. I mean, she almost stalled out at one point. She was rolling a little coal. And even out of all that, I just barely got it over 170. So my overheating issues are solved. I guarantee I couldn't bring the dozer up out of there empty without it getting hot before in second gear. So, good to know. Just clean her out a little bit, and that'll probably take care of it. I'd hate to know what them EGTs was coming up over there, though. They're probably pretty toasty on that muffler I put under there. But we won't do that too much more. All right, so right over there, that big tree right there, that's a black oak. It's a pretty big one. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. You can't, let me show you. So two things about that black oak suck. One, it's leaning. Two, there's fence in the bottom of it. So I've got to cut it up high. They do not want anything that has metal in it. And wood, if you don't know anything about wood, if you see blue, the color blue in wood, that means it's got metal in it. There's one kind of tree that kind of turns blue by itself. I can't remember which one it is, but oak ain't it. So it's a nice big tree, but there's how hard that lean is. You can see that. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop that one, and we're gonna drag that one out too. So I just want to show you this stuff over here. This tree was a pain in the ass to cut because it was very large round. I mean, there's my arm going clear across it. I can touch the other side just barely. But this is my chest. So it's hard to hold the saw up here and see what the hell you're doing. But anyhow, right here's what I wanted to show you. See how that blue's in there? Well, that's because there's barbed wire. See, there's barbed wire in there. And near as I could tell, there was a knot right here. Right here, about here is where the highest fence piece should have been. So that's why I did that. And whenever I cleaned my cut up, that blue disappeared a little bit. So hopefully they ain't gonna say nothing.